Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another and last reaction for No Game, No Life, Zero. It is the last part, the third part, and you know what to do as always. Please feel free to go down into my comments, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and watch my reaction. I hope you like it, and once you've done, please feel free to come back here to hear me out about what I thought about this awesome movie. See you then. For those of you that came back, welcome back. What a great movie, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed it. I really did. That was just, story-wise very well done. Although one could already see where it was going to. But that didn't matter. It was very well designed, not only by graphics, by character development. The music really got me in the end now, as you have seen. They really played on my emotions. It's okay. Yeah, I liked it. And I was really pumped at the end. I was like, holy heck, I want to have season 2 now. It is, it reminds me a lot of the first series, of the first season, where I have come to love those characters, their creepy and strange behavior. But as well the incredibly clever ideas for games, for how to win in specific games, and this wonderful world that they created, which is just something different, you know? It's not the typical world, and that's why I like it so much. So, let's go through it, right? Before I cannot stop myself from fanboying anymore. So, we ended off the last episode with all of the races drawing out, moving away from the human territory. And we knew that there were some major weapons in this world. So there was this E-bomb from the dwarves. There was this Akinsin, I think something like it. It is from the elves. And as we know now from the angels, like Jibril, there was what was it called? Light of Heaven? Something like that? I wrote it down. I will find it later on, however. So there are 3 major weapons, each of them strong enough, big enough to possibly wipe out whole civilizations. Well, the question was, what is the next step? So, the Blank, Rico and Shui, they were able to lure nearly all races, or at least all the major players, into one continent, into the continent of Arena, which is where old Deus was sitting as well, which is where the angels are. So the Flügel, sorry, I'm always referring to them as angel, which is not correct. It is the Flügel instead, which brings me to another thing in this movie. And in the series before as well, but in the movie it is very prominent that there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of German words. So Flügel, which means wings, it's an easy name, you know, they have wings, so we call them wings. Okay. So the dwarves allied with the giants and the phantasms, which we haven't seen either yet, I think. The elves allied with the fairies and the draconia. I think we haven't seen those either. The werbeasts were not really much in the game anymore after the first meeting, you know? They are not ones with major weaponry. Still they're gone. So they then stated that they placed 23 stones, game pieces, let's call it that, already, and 9 are left. In the end, 24 were placed. So they set up those reflecting abilities. So we have seen that the Ex Machina are pretty strong. They have interesting abilities to reflect damage, to bring it somewhere else. So I think they placed some kind of machines that do this. So in case the big weapons are fired, it was meant to bundle it and put it down into the earth to reach the core. Which is a major plan. Why? So the gods are behaving like little children in the end. Like stupid you know, like stupid humans. All the gods which are more or neither equal in power are fighting each other to kill all the other gods, so that they become the one only god that is strong enough, and then can claim the Suniasta, which is more, I thought, like Suncaster. Suniasta, which is a major artifact which grants you even more power, it seems. So in the end, it was about who is the biggest, you know, who got the biggest balls, who's the big one, who's the boss, and wants to rule the world alone. It is a sad thing, because, I mean, they are gods. I discussed it in the last part already. When they behave like this, in my opinion, they shouldn't be considered gods anymore. They're just higher beings in the meaning of more powerful, but not real gods anymore. However, that's what they do. They went for it. And the idea of Riku and Shui was, which is a clever one, thus this artifact goes for who has the biggest power. If they can absorb and bundle the power in this moment, they do have the biggest power, and then they get the Suniasta. As, you know, a human and an ex machina, that would have been interesting. However, the greatest power is the spirit circuits, so there is something in the world, like life essence or whatever you want to call it, that created the gods as well. So, and this one is waiting for the one worthy. It's always a problem if being worthy is defined by military strength, you know? However, that's what it is. They wanted to use the Umweg ability. Umweg is, how to translate it the best? Just thinking about it. Delay is not correct. Kind of reflection. You know, if you go into one direction and you are bounced to the side, you are slightly forced into a other direction. In case you have like a traffic jam, you have to take another route, which in German is ein Umweg. So that's where it comes from. And it makes sense because it redirects. Oh yeah, redirect is possibly one of the best options, although not completely perfect. It is it redirects in this case the powers, which we've seen in the past. You know, the dragon fire that was fired at Ex Machina was redirected somewhere else. In this case, the town that Riku lived in. However, so that's the idea. Corona appeared one last time and was sent away by Riku, who was majorly injured. So last episode, I was really thinking about, is he dying now? And in this moment, when we've seen him lying there and going to sleep, I was like, okay, I see as an option where this is going that he is dying now, and Shui is the last one left. And that would have been a valid option as well. She would possibly tried all she can do to finish his plan, because it was his wish, you know. But no, instead she went away. She was told to hold his hand while he's sleeping, but she went away to complete the plan, to set some more of those Umweg parts, because, well, you know, out of love. That makes it quite easily said. It is she was very well aware that he's not able to do it anymore. He was so injured, he was so damaged. It was very likely if he would go on like that, he would die. After all, he still is just a human in the end. His brain, his mind, his ideas all might exceed what most humans have, but his body is still bound to Earth. So that's why she did it. And she went alone. And, well, there we had the problem. She set the 24th of those pieces. So 8 more would have been needed. And that's when she was confronted. And I wasn't sure. You know, I was like, we have seen this Azrael before. Is this Azrael now? I'm not sure. Or is it Jibril? And I was like, nah, well, better not say. Just watch and enjoy. More neither enjoy. And yes, it was Jibril. Very cool. I like it that they brought her in. Although, well, which it is one of those things here which is strange when they are fighting. Not those two, I mean in general. They are killing each other. You shouldn't deny that. You shouldn't ignore that. The fact is, this is war. People are dying out of every race. And Jibril, in this case, acts as though it is a game, you know? It is not... It hasn't come to their mind what it means. The only ones that we have seen so far who are really aware of what war means was mankind, because they were the ones suffering all the time. While the elves and the dwarves, it seems, are, and the Flügel here, are not really so much getting the concept yet. It is in many ways, yeah, for Jibril it was like a game again, you know? Oh, nice, a competition, yeah. Oh, she's even stronger than I thought, nice one, you know? Not positive in this case. However, Shwi did everything, I mean really everything she could to escape. She tried to escape via the Einweg portals, Einweg, one way in German, and was trapped, you know. Jibril waited there, she has seen this coming. She was clear about the fact that she had a 0% chance of winning, although she, once again for us, stated that there is no 0%. There's always an incredibly slight chance, so yes, she tried. Well, in the end, I mean, it was a long fight, we have all seen it. It was nicely animated and everything, and showed the powers that those beings possess, both sides of them. But in the end, she was completely destroyed. I mean, she was, yeah, she took so many hits. And this is where it began, where it was important. So, she realized the fact that she cannot win, that she cannot escape. There's no chance. Everything will fall to ashes, which Rico and she wished for. And in this moment, it was that she was aware of that she cannot return to him, that she will not survive, that she kind of sacrificed because she reconnected to the other Ex Machina. I'm not sure if she knew what would happen. I guess she did not. So there was a valid point, a valid chance that what she is, in the meaning of emotional now, in the meaning of all her emotions, her love, her feelings, all of this might be wiped out. Might be, you know, deleted. We don't know the exact powers the Ex Machina have, so it might very well be that they're just overwriting her being. And then she would have lost what she acquired. So there was a real danger, in my opinion, and that means that her reconnecting is a sacrifice in many ways. On the other hand, it was her only chance to, well, hopefully bring the Ex Machina to help her, to help Rico and the world in the end. So, she tried to reconnect. She was denied because she's damaged, in the meaning of she had dysfunctions. Which brought her to her idea of understanding the human heart. And that would have been it. Wouldn't have on the one hand, she insisted all the time. On the other hand, the Machina on the other side have realized that she is still functioning. She's fighting on, although she is so damaged she shouldn't be able to. What does that mean? In this moment, she has the human heart. That it is what it was about. Because that was why she was, on the first hand, on her way. She stated, mankind is still fighting on. Mankind is not giving up, although you are beaten. And they cannot understand it. It is not logical, you know? But it increases, in the long run, your survival. So the Machina understood that, realized that she has this now. So she really got it. She really completed her mission in the end. And just by the logic of a machine, if you have, however it works, the option to survive critical damage to the body for seconds or minutes where you normally wouldn't, this is an improvement worth taking in. So that's why they reconnected. And then we had 251 seconds she had to survive still so that she could upload all of herself into the machine. That was awesome. I mean, she, as you stated, it was the ability to once again release everything, which is the English word for alles lösen, release everything. So she went completely full mode, completely out. I think it is possibly something that she couldn't do before and was allowed to do by reconnecting. Just guessing there. So that they kind of activated this ability in her. And then it was even bigger fighting than before. It was just like cannons out of everywhere. Still, she was there without any chance. It was just about buying time, putting more body. She just put out more body to be hit. She just tried to evade what she could to attack, so that Jibril had to evade, just buying time. That it was. And 251 seconds. I kind of thought that they would like, it would have been a nice idea of in the bottom of the screen having the seconds dropping down. It would have been a very long fight, no question then. But there might have been an option. But they didn't, and it was okay. In the end, she was completely, there was not destroyed anymore. She was really ripped to shreds, which was hard to see. But there was one sentence I really liked, that in this game, victory goes to me. She's completely beaten. She's about to be blasted by Jibril with Jibril's last attack, this overpowered full power attack that she has, which turns her into a kid. And seeing death in the eye, she's aware that she won. She got uploaded. She got possibly the Ex Machina on her side now, and so she states this: I win. In this game, and it's once again game, I win. Yeah, there was a moment when she confessed her love again, and I can feel myself tearing up a little bit right now. So there was a moment that got me. Why? Quite easily, because we have 1.5 hours building up a relationship between Riko and Shui. We have the development of their characters. We have the fact that they really love each other. And we have a sacrifice. We have music that plays into this sacrifice and transports this feeling to us. So that's why it got me. And it is okay. So, I can understand that Riko was about to give up then. There was this promise that he's not allowed to die until Shui dies. So, he's aware that she's gone. And so, he thinks about ending it. I think, don't talking about like a dagger to your heart or shot himself. I think he would just have closed his eyes. He's injured enough, and if the soul is not willing to fight anymore, then the body just gives in such a state. So he would have just possibly died there. And then Einzig appeared. Einzig, I think, is like the major coordinator for the Ex Machina, or at least one of the most important ones. Einzig means only one. Yeah, a little bit of alone, but it's most, in general, it is like the only one, Einzig. And he brings in, hope. He brings in the fact what Shui did. The Ex Machina are joining Riko. Not only that, they are following his command. So that's an interesting background information. The Ex Machina do not have like a real god. They are just there. They are created, but they do not know the purpose of it. And I think that's an interesting idea. The problem of a machine that is created and becomes a sentient being, becomes aware of itself. We as human, we always, or many of us, have the question, where do we come from? Where do we go to? What is the reason for us to live? Why are we here on Earth or in the universe in general? is there a higher being, stuff like that, you know? And for sure, a machine that becomes sentient, that becomes aware of itself, will have the same question. And in case of a machine, you know that you were created. You know that you did not evolve from other animals by biology. You know someone did build you. So there's the question: why did someone build me? What for? What is my reason in this world? And here they said we did not live with a purpose, but we can die with a purpose, and that is a big thing. So that they became aware of this, the ideas of sacrifice for something bigger, and that's, I think, what Shui brought to them once she uploaded. So they just used the 24 Einweg instead of 32, and with the help of the Ex Machina, they could then bundle it and shoot it into the earth to get the artifact out. But that means more or neither all of the Machina died there. You gotta think about it. They're completely wiped out. This is when the big fight begins. The end of the world as we know it. Someone shot the one of the major weapons, and I'm pretty sure it is not one of the major parties. To me it seems as though the Ex Machina shot it. However they did it. So they kind of did the first shot to start the war. And they missed on purpose. So this shot was not aimed for someone, it was aimed to miss one of the enemies. Which makes it pretty clear that either the Ex Machina shot it, or maybe the ghosts. Or why not? They were not in the frame right now, but it would be a nice idea if the ghosts did it. However, when this was shot, that is when old Deus was like, I have enough of this nonsense. You know, like the grumpy old dad. And he is acting like that. He's just going full force. He's just like, okay, let's wipe out everyone. He's not like, I will show you my power and you will bow. He's like, I will wipe you out. So much about being good and bad. That is a very clear statement. And the others shot as well to, well, you know, once the Atomar rockets are in the sky, it is this, yeah, well, let's start ours as well. Stupid bot. Whatever. We had the picture of all of the Ex Machina, or at least one cluster of the Ex Machina, standing in the way, taking in the blast, you know, possibly to transfer it to the weapon. The main one, I think it was Einzig, stated aus, which means off. Possibly like, we are off, you know, it's over, off, everyone turn off. And the answer, yeah, well, it's German, you know, jawohl, okay. We do not speak like that all the time, holy heck. However, and then they did the release again, lösen, released. It worked. They pumped the power into the earth, they got the artifact, and Rico was standing in front of it, and he was aware of one fact: that is a stalemate. No one won, you know? No one won at this moment, and it's not like the war parties are damaged or cannot use their weapons again. They can fire again, possibly. So it is one moment of a stalemate, and what now? You know, with a stalemate, no one wins. That's it. But you have to keep this stalemate so that it is kind of a forced peace. But it's very clear that Rico cannot keep this stalemate. He has it in this one moment, and this is where the question is, what now? And this is where he, well, partially gives up, because he's aware of that enormously many people died from mankind in the beginning of the episode, of the series, later on to a big cluster of Ex Machina. Shui died, and he's about to do as well. So there's the question, what did I do it for now? What now? I'm at this point, I have this artifact, but what now? The artifact does not allow him to take it, which we see when his hand evaporates and the ring flies away. So even then, the artifact is like, you're not worthy in the meaning of just power. I think apart from that, he might have been worthy. And he's aware that he cannot allow it to be a draw, because then everything would have been for none. So he prays, first time ever, to Tet. And one might question here, was Tet really there? Which is an interesting idea. You know, how do gods become to be? There's this nice concept that a god is created when someone prays to this god. So, and the more people pray to a god, the more powerful the god becomes, which is a concept as well. So what if Tet was only a god that was created because Riko believed in him, and Shui later on did as well? And thus Shui believed in him, and she uploaded herself to the Ex Machina. Did all Ex Machina believe to him? So he is an idea, you know? So I had the idea of Tet is created by the Ex Machina. Why not? So he prayed to Tet because he needs this war to end. He needs it to be over. And, well, his call is answered. You know, Tet appears, which is cool to see him finally. And I really like the fact that Riko ended on a high note, on a positive note. It's not like that he's sad then. He's like, hey, you're there. Nice to see you again, dude. Let's play a game. This time, Shui and I will win. And we know they did. So that was really nice. We had, he asked if his big sister Couronne, if it is over, could set one of the pieces on his playing field onto a specific position. So he played a game with Tet before, which was like turns every day or stuff. And she does, and that's a nice one. Tet states, hey, that's my first draw ever, nice one. So there we have the first draw, we have the first win in the season, season 1. And then we hear that her name is Couronne Dola, which, I mean, come on. We all kind of knew already. It had to be. That was nice. I really liked that. A little bow again. Which means that Riko was a Dola as well, so he's a member of the royal family. And thus Shui is married to him. She's as well. Cool. We had the fact about mankind. So Tet named them Immanity. And there's this interesting concept. So he stated only all the other races were created by their gods to serve in a purpose that those gods felt fit. Mankind did not. It evolved from lesser beings too. And in the end, they had a huge impact now. So while Tet is not the god of Immanity, of mankind, he did name Immanity. He did recognize them in front of all the other races. So that is a big thing. Well, there are two things in the end. One is, it is still kind of a stalemate. So we have this chess game still, and Tet states that they're in a position now where everyone will check the other player. So that's where they are. They're in a position, not really frozen, but the next move is what makes the game now. So what's going to happen now? And I think this is where the series is going to. We are gathering pieces for the game again with Sora and Shiro. So once again, Tet is waiting for those two to make the game for him, to finish what they started, you know. And as Riko already stated, next time we will win. I think that is a big thing here. So this war 6,000 years ago ended in kind of a stalemate, and Tet is just holding the pieces, holding the board, waiting for the real players to appear again. and this time to win this game. It's a very nice idea. I like it a lot. Last thing. I don't know if you've seen, I commented, when you see Ted floating backwards out of his hoodie, there are two things dingling. And you might call me crazy, but it looks a lot like an Ex Machina connector. So, he might not be an Ex Machina, but I think the Ex Machina had at least a bit of a piece in his creation, and that's why he has those. Yeah, that's it. What a nice series, what a nice movie, sorry. Really hope for another season. It would be great to see that, and where they are going from here. It was nice to see a lot of the characters again, and where they came from, and to get a overall concept of who they are. Question to me is here for sure, how do Sora and Shiro appear in the other world, in the human world? It makes sense that Ted is able to bring them to his world because they are so influential there, so important. It makes absolute sense that he brings them there. But I guess as the power that he is and has as a god, he kind of made sure that their souls are kind of reborn. If not all souls are by definition there, then he made sure, you know, the game is not over yet. I will need the players again. Just give them a little bit time of rest there on the other world. Give them the ability to hone their skills to be better. And I mean, it was like a training camp. So he put them on the other world as a training camp. And once they're ready, bring them back. I like the idea of that. That's it for this time. And I really hope you liked. As always, please feel free to comment, to like and subscribe. You can, as always, visit my Patreon or my Facebook, and yeah, write down what you thought about this movie. Did you like it? I hope so. Is there anything like a season 2 coming? I really hope so. Well, did I miss small parts? Possibly, but be nice. As always, this is it this time. Relax and panic. Goodbye and out.